Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome back to Dramalogue with your hosts Sana and Sunny. We're back with another two new dramas for you to review, which are currently on air, Duniyapur and Kaffara. So first of all, just want to let you guys know or appreciate and all the feedback that we got from you guys, including to incorporate some Hindi in between or Urdu in between, as well as some graphics on the YouTube channel. So we'll keep that in mind. And with that, I'm gonna give the mic to Sunny.
Yeah, hi Donna. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us again. We are coming with another great episode. We're looking forward to some fun, laughter, and some serious discussion on the dramas that Sana just mentioned. So let's go.
All right, so we're gonna start off with Duniyapur, right? So
Yep, let's go.
okay, so Duniyapur it just started about 2 weeks ago. It's a new drama on Green Channel. If you don't know about Green Channel, it's a new channel which promises to give some progressive different content from Pakistan. The writer is Radhain Shah, directed by Shahid Shafat, and like I mentioned on Green Channel. The casts include Noman Ijaz. There's some big names here. Noman Ijaz, Sami Khan, Shamail Khan, Manzar Sabai, Ramsha Khan, Ali Raza. So that's the cast. And so yeah, Sunny, I know you had some opinions about this. What do you think about Dunyapur?
Yeah, so Duniyapur, of course, it had a big promotion, and based on what's published in the news, it was apparently one of the most expensive dramas ever made for PTV. And my biggest attraction was the combination of Noman Ijaz and Kushal Khan, along with Ramsha. So, I mean, I was really excited to see the three of them together. And they promised a screenplay and a story which was way different from what has been presented before. So, those were the positives for me and made me kind of start watching the show. So, yeah, I don't know much about the creators of the show. So, Sana, do you have any information about the writer or the director?
So all I know is Badaisha I wrote Kaisi Teri Khudgarzi and Shahid Shafat directed. He's directed a few dramas, and I know the most recent that he did was Mohabbat Gumshuda Meri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the most recent one for Kushal Khan, right? That was his debut drama.
I don't think it was debut, but yeah,
Okay.
it was one of his like more popular ones. He won an award for it too.
Yep, that's right, in the Ham Awards. Yep. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, is basically the story is basically about these two families, warring families. They're rivals. Both want Duniyapur, the land. It's a fictional town apparently, and basically like Noman Ijaz is from one family, and then the other one is I think Manzar Sabai is the patriarch of the other family, which has like four sons and one daughter, and three sons have been killed, and then the one son and one daughter are alive. One of them, the girl is Ramsha Khan, and then we have from the other family we have Noman Ijaz, and then he has two sons, Ali Raza and Khushal Khan, and then enter Sami Khan. He's a police officer who comes in from another town. He's been posted here in Duniyapur. So that's the premise of the show.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Like did you like it?
So the first episode was good. I was quite gripping. And when I started watching it, it kind of reminded me of Godfather, the story of Godfather, where there's this patriarch of the family who kind of rose to power and became this fearless mafia don. So Noroz Adam, I think that's the name of Norman Ijaz in the story. He seems to be someone similar to that. He was one of the employees of this other family that's called the Nawabs, and he and his father kind of were their employees before, but then they kind of pushed through their ranks and then took some matters in their own hand and eventually grabbed or took over the Niyapur from the Nawabs. And in the process, I think the Norman Ijaz's character, he has killed three of the sons of the other family. And since then, they have been warring, and they're both petrified that any day anything can happen to either of them. As a result, the youngsters of the family, they're always, worried and always fearful of their lives. So we see the daughter, which is Ramsha Khan of the Nawab side. She wants to leave Duniyapur, so she has been applying for visas to go abroad, apparently. And Tushal Khan, who's the youngest of the Adams, he is very reluctant to continue the way things are, and he wants peace.
Mhm.
So, and it's very much like Godfather, where the chief says that my oldest is good for nothing, so my hope is on the youngest. He's the smartest. And here the same thing, the oldest son, who's apparently is supposed to inherit Duniyapur from father, is a firebrand, and he doesn't have smarts, and is very easy to lose his temper. And then the youngest one is very young, and he's seemingly smart, but he's very reluctant to get into these conflicts. So that's the premise that they've set for us, which is very similar to Godfather, in my opinion, I feel.
Mhm. Okay. And then where does Sami Khan fit in then?
Yeah, poor guy. He just, like, in the bus tour, he doesn't seem very happy that he's been posted here. But in the bus itself, he's been warned that you're landing in big soup and you might not return alive. And then he gets off the bus and immediately he gets like kidnapped, sort of.
Right.
And he's clueless what is happening, and he gets kidnapped, and all we see is like he is in this haveli of the Adams, being handed from one brother to the other,
Mhm.
and he's endlessly waiting and kind of looking, and right before his eyes he saw the chaos unfolding, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Sami Khan is very, very underrated. I mean, he's one of my favorite actors actually. So I was very, I think that's like he's the one who actually pulled me to the show actually. So I liked his character. I think whatever scenes he did were awesome. Not many scenes, but they were all great. But then I think everyone had like only limited scenes. Like I think it's not like Fashal was there for like, you know, for the entire time either, right?
Right.
So, and I think like with the second episode, we have a backstory with Sami Khan's character too. I think his name is Mir Hassan or Ali Hassan or something like that. I think Mir Hassan is the name. So, because he has a wife played by Mashal Khan, I think.
Yeah.
And then there's a son too, apparently, because he says, or his wife says, I was calling you, and your son or whatever, I don't remember his name. He was waiting for you to call you back. So I don't know if there's a backstory to that as well, and if they're gonna show that too. So,
True, they
so
kind
I
of
think
hint at
that
it,
was
like,
interesting.
yeah,
And then,
conductor kind of tells,
yeah,
right? Like, did you get like punished or something that you've,
like what did you exactly? Yes, I think
yeah.
there's a backstory to that too. And then the other interesting part was, yeah, to me, it just reminded me of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, because it's like two families, they hate each other.
Mm,
Like,
mm,
and
true.
then the
Yes.
the guy and the girl fall in love, right? I mean, and then the entire world is against them. Entire Duniyapur, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it would be nice to see how the story unfolds, because based on Kushal and Ramsha's interview, they promise us something completely different. I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of goes in the direction of an Indian movie that called Ram Leela or something like that. It was Deepika Padukone movie, which is kind of on the same lines, that set in a rural area with like two like families in conflict, and
Mhm.
then eventually the youngsters who were like happy-go-lucky and fell in love, but they were asked to, like, they had to take over the reins of their own family, and then go into feud with each other. So I don't know if it's going to go down that way, but it will be interesting to see how the story unfolds. But overall, I felt like the direction was not tight. It was very haphazard and very chaotic, and a lot of characters were introduced all of a sudden.
Mhm.
Um, and like, we saw this henchman who's apparently betraying Adam. We saw the Dadi, she holds a lot of grudge apparently against the Nawabs. The Nawabs end as well. We see this. young wife of the patriarch of that family, she seems suspicious and definitely not liked by any of the children, which means like she's either a step mother.
Yes, yeah, because remember, like, so are you talking about Manzar, like Ramsha Khan's father, right?
Yes, Ramsha
Because
Khan's
with
father.
him, I don't know, I don't remember if you in the first episode, her sons or Manzar Sabai's son says, the Nawab's son says, yeah, like our my three brothers died, and then after that, my dad got married three more times. So I
Oh
think this
wow.
was like, yeah, so I think this was like one of his wives.
Oh, okay. So that explains why none of the kids like her. And then the more about the henchman, apparently heard his daughter is interested in
I don't think
Kushal's.
man, because he called him Chacha, right? Ali
Is it
Rajab
was
called him
of
Chacha.
the family? Oh, is it the one who got shot and then was
Yeah, yeah.
apparently conspired? Oh, he's a family member.
Chacha. Like, I mean, but Chacha could be like uncle. I mean, it could be like a real Chacha, like blood, or not
Okay.
related either. So I don't. But he did call him Chacha one time. I remember.
Okay. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
then I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah. And then for me, the first episode was just like too much happening, right? And it was so gory. Like it was like killing and killing after. It was just like
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, and then they were introducing all these characters, and I'm like, I don't know, like, who are these people, right? And
Yeah,
then
there
the
was
second
too
episode in
much
that
happening.
sense was a little more slower paced and a little better, more human, quote unquote.
I agree. A lot made more sense.
Right.
Going back to the
Yeah.
first episode, the first racing scene was so
I
it
know
kept
that
dragging.
that scene wasn't. I mean, was it needed? I don't know. I mean, is it gonna play a
Yeah.
role in the future? I don't know. Like, what was the point of showing like that he's a racer? Like,
Yeah, because you have already established that these two
our
families don't
sons,
see eye
right?
to eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the end of it, he fell down, and what was the
But what was and
like?
then the girl comes into like,
Yeah,
and then you have to
yeah,
show that like that he was, I guess, like she's interested in him, but he's not.
true.
Apparently. And then
Yeah.
the other part was, gosh, I just lost my train of thought. It's okay. You go ahead. I lost my train of thought.
Okay. Well, the fight scene, right? The apparently some men came and opened fire in an area which was predominantly controlled by the Adams. So it was they found it very intriguing and very strange. But then the way that the eldest guy brother reacted, like Ali Raza's character, it was making no sense to me. Like he was just like a headless chicken running around, and everybody else was running around after him trying to capture God only knows. And then the whole sequence where eventually like both the brothers get into a jeep, and apparently the younger one is trying to stop the older one from going ahead with the plan, but some jeep just blew off, and then they got off track, but then a jeep blew off in the background, and then they got back in track, and then they eventually landed and went on with the attack unplanned and chaotically. It was like, what is going on here? How come the dad is not aware that something like this is unfolding right in his courtyard? How come nobody else was trying to stop them, and everybody just got on board with the whole plan? And there was a lot of running around to catch the oldest brother and from to stop him from doing this. And there were three men running after him. Nobody was able to stop him, and then they joined the team as well. So it was just so chaotic and so it didn't make any intelligent sense, to be honest, to me. Over to you.
For me, okay, so I know this grandmother from the Adams, right?
Yeah.
They are actually like, okay, give me 1 second, okay? Okay, so yeah, so Adams or like Adams, basically, the grandma. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So the grandma. I mean, she's shown as this like really hard-hearted, cruel woman, right?
True.
Which does not go down well with me. The other thing is, Noman Ijaz's character is very interesting because, like he's not a ruthless man, right?
True.
Because, he says that, show respect to the police officer, to Sami Khan. He's like, isko अच्छी तरह respect दिखा के वापस लेकर जाओ police station. He says that. And then even like he's not shown as a like an out and out evil man. But then from the Nawab,
Soft with the
oh, give me one
sister.
second. Okay, just hold on. Okay, my
Yeah.
daughter's gone now. It's okay. Let's go. Recording is started again. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. What were you saying?
The brother, like on the Nawab side, the son, he seems to have a softer side. When he's dealing with the sister, when he's trying to comfort the sister, you do see the human side of that guy.
Yes, and he does try to like he wants her to leave.
Yes. He arranges for the visa and he comforts her and says, okay. And when she's adamant on leaving the very next day,
Uh-huh.
he goes on with the plan. He's like, okay, we'll make sure that you do leave.
Right.
So yeah, we do see a softer side there. Norman Ijaz's character, as well as you mentioned, yeah, we do multiple occasions where he's not the Hitler in the family sort of a guy. Like he does say to his when his son is like very rude with his wife, he says that be nice to her, so on and so forth. Yeah.
So my okay, so like I'm actually I have this like medical lens that I look things from. So
Mhm.
there's this scene in the OR when Jose Alfon's like being operated on.
Yes.
Okay, it really triggers me when homework's not done, right? So basically, like you have this patient here. He's in the
Right.
OR. Well, they did show him to have this mask on, but I don't think he was properly intubated. So I think that was one thing. The other part was that okay, so everyone wasn't scrubbed in. So when you are in the OR, everyone needs to be
Right.
scrubbed in, right? Every single
Yes.
person. You cannot walk into the OR without scrubbing in. You have to have a mask on. You have to have, especially like when you have assistants around, they have to be scrubbed in. Even the anesthesiologist is scrubbed in.
Right.
And then afterwards, like the doctor, the surgeon, he just like he just like he's like operating, and then he just you know, leaves the instruments and then pulls off his mask,
Yeah.
which is like,
Exactly.
okay, I mean, if you were operating on something, your gloves would have been bloody, right? And
Yeah.
you don't
In
touch
the ER
the mask
itself.
right away. And mask is the last thing that you remove when you're scrubbed in. So you don't even remove your gloves first. You actually remove your gown, then you take out your hands from outside so you don't touch the outside, and then there's a whole procedure behind it, and that was I think Pakistani dramas really need to work on that. Maybe
Absolutely.
I can give some advice.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm glad that you mentioned this because that was like really stood out for me. Although I'm not in the medical profession, operation theater looked nothing like an operation theater. It looked like a storeroom that has been like converted to an operation
Yes,
theater.
yes. And then yeah, exactly. And then even if somebody enters the OR, you have to have a mask on.
Right,
Like because
exactly.
because because like the patient is at risk for catching infections, or like
Right.
or you will
Of
contaminate the
course.
field. So wouldn't the father, Naman Hijaz, would be considered like if a doctor or nurse says, hey, you can't enter, you need to have a mask on, guys, sir,
Yeah.
or you will break the sterile field and he's gonna get bad infections.
And have you seen that everybody just left the patient like that on the table and left the room?
I think I've seen
I was like, what? Like not a single person was there to make sure that the patient is recovered, things are clean around him, nobody's disturbing him.
I mean, he needs to be like, well, he needs to be extubated by the anesthesiologist and taken to PACU.
Right. They all just left him just like that. Like they stitched him all up and then just left. And the dad was the last one to leave. All the medical people left before him. I'm like,
so, so that scene really bothered me. And
oh,
then,
it was
okay.
very bad. It was very bad. And that's where I said very poor direction because I was still engaged till then. And at that point, I was like, oh my God. Initially I thought maybe they are doing this surgery in his
That's
house.
exactly what I thought when they had shown in the promo. I actually thought that like they were just operating in their own house.
I thought exactly the same, and they probably didn't want to
Yeah, they
expose
just
him
like
to the
they were
virus.
just there, like they just like sterilize the equipment at home with some hot boiling water and just did it. Like,
Yeah, yeah, and they just grabbed the doctors and said, "You just do it in my own home." And I thought that's what it was. And then coming to performances, I felt like I did not like any of the performances, to be very honest.
Really?
Yes, and I could be wrong here. Ramsha, I would give her maybe some points here. Expecting much
Sabi
more.
Khan's performance?
He is good. He was the only one, I have to say. Like, he was very restrained, very emotive, actually. Like,
Yeah,
he kind of mentions that, all this killing happened today, and what about police? And then other guy starts
exactly.
laughing.
Yeah.
That, I mean, when he even, like, you see this police officer who even puts up the question, and even before he does that, he knows that it makes no sense to even ask that question. So
Mm-hmm.
that was so well portrayed in his expression that,
Yeah.
that he kind of like helped us
Even when
guess.
he was like, when he was talking to his wife, there was a hint of like, he wasn't happy talking to her. He
Right,
wasn't happy
exactly.
talking to him, right? So I think his was the best performance, I think.
True, very true. He was very emotive, and the way he was sitting and watching everything unfolding, and then at the end, Norman just comes and asks, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm the cop." And the expression on his face was like, "Apparently, I'm the cop." Last time I checked,
Apparently, I am the one, but like I guess not.
and then he said, "Last time I checked, I was the cop." That was this
Last,
morning.
yeah, that scene was hilarious.
It was hilarious and very subtle and very hilarious.
Yeah, it was like just
Nailed
the
it.
way it was said. Like,
Yeah, and he nailed it with his body language and with his expressions. It was so good.
yeah. All right. Do you want to add anything else? I think. Do you want to move on? I guess it's been like so long. I'm gonna move on.
I think the last thing I want to mention is too much references to lions and dogs in 2 episodes. Like, I'm the lion, you're the dog. Oh, enough of it now.
And oh, one more thing. Like, I think it's really interesting that their names are Nawabs and the Adams. So because you
Good
know why?
point.
Because Adam means insan, man,
Right,
and
right,
Nawab is like like a king sort of level, right? Like upper.
right.
So I thought it was interesting.
Right, and the way you've set up the story, at this moment, I wasn't feeling much sympathy for the Adams, right?
Hmm.
Till at the end of the second episode, where the older guy, he brings up this proposal of marrying the daughter of Adam, who's
Yeah.
she's barely a teenager. That's where it was so creepy.
Yep. All right. So let's see. Are you gonna watch next week? Do you want to? You want to continue watching, right? Are
I
you
want to
just like
continue watching because I want to see how things are unfolding with the Kushal's character.
okay? Okay. So you recommend, right? Watching this show?
I would strongly recommend because there's a lot of expectation from Nominee Jazz, and I really like Kushal and Ramsha. So I want to see that the choice of script will not be that bad. So I want to give it a chance.
God. Do you want to move on to Kafara?
I know you do.
I do. Okay, so Kaffara is actually it's been going on for maybe like a month and maybe 5 weeks, I guess. So by on Geo Entertainment Channel, produced by Seven Sky, director is Muhammad Iftikhar Ifti or Ifi, I think, and the writer is Shafia Khan. And then the main cast is basically Ali Ansari, Zoya Nasser, Laiba Khan. So these are three main. Then there's Usman Pirzada. So that's what we have. Do you want to start, or do you want me to kind of give
Um,
a
yeah,
background?
I want you to give a background because I started watching Kafara quite late in the game.
Hmm.
So I think there was 50 odd episode that's already happened before I started watching Kafara.
Okay.
So yeah, go
So
ahead.
so for me, it was recommended to me on YouTube. You know how they recommend something? It's just like, oh, play this. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Let me just try. And then the first episode when I watched, I did not like it. I'm like, what crap is this? The first two or three episodes. Seriously. I even wrote it on my on someone's page. Like, like I
That's so
said
good.
this is crap, okay? I don't know why people are watching this thing. And then come like when and then I move forward, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll watch more. And then like when the guy and the girl meet, and oh gosh, like that's when like the story really starts, and that's when you get hooked. In Hyderabad. So basically, this is like a story of a guy Salah who's being played by Ali Ansari, and
Hmm.
he's rich. He has a sister who's married, and he wants to be a photographer. And then he wants to go abroad and study photography while his dad wants him to join business. And they don't see eye to eye with each other. And then we have like this other family where it's like a messed up family, basically. A lot of toxic,
That's the right word for it. Yes.
a lot of toxic people. This poor family. And then this girl, Laiba Khan, her name is Sitara. And she's an orphan. She has a brother. She lives with her Ataya, who's Ataya is basically your dad's older brother. And he's raised her. So that's that. And then her cousin is getting married in Hyderabad, which is a city I think out in the outskirts of Karachi, maybe like an hour
Uh-huh.
away. And and that's where Laiba also goes there. And then Salar's friend is Salman, who's her cousin, Laiba's cousin. So Salar actually runs away from home, and he needs to find a place to stay and stay away, hide from his family. So Salman says, "Okay, come with me to Hyderabad because I'm going to my cousin's wedding." So that's where they meet, and then they had to hide his identity. He basically poses as a photographer for the wedding, and that's how they meet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the history.
So that's the history. Yes. Now you go.
Okay, so yeah, Kaffara was recommended to me by you actually. So, so I have you to blame for it. So I started watching, I think from the 50 episodes onwards, and then what I got hooked to was this guy, Salar, right? Uh, and I don't know why everybody likes bad guys. But Salar is not really a bad guy per se. He's more of a sassy guy, I think. So he calls spade a spade. He just, basically he sees some problem. He just speaks out against it, and especially when it comes to Sitara, right?
Mhm.
And then he defends Sitara, whether it's at her with her against her family or in his family. He has always been, defending Sitara.
Mhm.
So that's what's attractive about Salar for sure.
Mhm.
Sitara, on the other hand, I think you saw the spark in the chemistry between the two, but I missed all those episodes. I can't comment on that. By the time I started watching, Sitara has gotten married to Salar, and I see a girl who's constantly moping around and very disgruntled and does not like Salar at all.
I mean, okay,
So
so I think this drama like really it could have been really good. Had it been less characters, less side plots, less of flashbacks, a more tightly knit script. And then what I think the main USP is Salar actually. I did not even know Ali Ansari. I did not know he existed
oh,
in the
really?
world like 5 years ago. Like,
Oh, really? You didn't even
no,
know
I had
Sabur
no
Ali's
idea.
husband?
People used to say, like, I remember, like, somebody, because, like, my friends, like, well, I told you Ali Ansari, and then you just said, go on, I don't care.
I've only seen him in side roles.
I've never seen him before, ever. I've never seen any of his dramas, okay?
I have seen one of his dramas. I don't remember which one it was, where he was this brother who was crippled. I think he was good, but I don't think anything that he can blow your mind kind of a person. My familiarity with him was as Sabur Ali's husband,
yeah, I
to
did
be
not even know
honest.
that, actually.
Oh,
I had,
okay.
I had,
Oh,
I had
wow.
no idea. I did not know this person existed. Like, its existence. And now I'm a fan.
You are, I know.
I watched two more dramas of his,
I know. You just recently recommended one more. I'm kind of like,
no.
okay, I might watch it. I don't know. I am not that. The reason for that, I'm not that excited about Ali. Ali is a great performer, no doubt about it. He did
Mhm.
perform very well, and he's carrying the show pretty much.
Yeah.
I know. But I have. like I have just started warming up to this character, right, Salar, and the show itself because of him.
Mhm.
And then suddenly they just made him a mute person. Like he hardly talks
Yeah.
now.
No,
He's like,
so this is like Salar is actually like, I mean, Sitara was very, she was a really spark. She had a spark in her. Like it was amazing chemistry in those initial episodes. And then even when they had this phase where they hated each other, like both
yeah.
of them. And then that was a great phase too. Like he went to Canada, and then oh my gosh, in Canada they showed him Ali Ansari, like he was feeding a little kitty with like milk in a bottle. I
Oh, good
know.
for
I'm like,
that.
I'm like, oh my gosh, you know.
That's so cute.
I know, and then like they show like his love for animals, and people who love animals are kind-hearted people, right? They're soft-hearted in general.
Hmm.
So, anyways, and then he runs back, as soon as he hears that she's getting married to someone, to Salman, and there's like then that's what happens, and I seriously think that Sitara was just PMSing.
Yeah.
I mean,
You said that word, I think was spot on.
because now in the last like any one or two episodes, she's fine now. Like like those days are over. She's back to her normal self. It's like I think in like yesterday's episode, she's like, he takes her picture and then she deletes it.
Yeah, she, she says a lot of things. Like I remember once she was talking to the father-in-law last. It was in the last few episodes only when she was talking to the father-in-law, and she goes like, मैं तो नहीं रहूंगी, but you guys need to take care of each other. And I'm like, why wouldn't you be around? Have you already decided to divorce Salah, or why are you saying that?
I think at that point, like she thought that he would. Well, oh, I think maybe you missed it because Salar says to his grandmother that मैंने इससे सिर्फ शादी की just to bring her ego down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
is
in her
that true
mind,
then?
no, it's not true. Like he was just saying that so that so that her grand or his nanny does not think of him as the bad person, or no, does not think of her as the bad person.
Oh, I see. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But coming back to Salar's side of the family, do you understand why the mother is so much against Sitara?
Because she's poor.
That's her only reason? Okay. I thought that at this point she's probably just jealous of Sitara because she has her mother, her husband, as well as a son and daughter, all in favor of Sitara. And
And
all of them
Usman Pirzada's character is so odd.
he is. He's like flip-flopping constantly. Like,
Right. I mean, like, he's like, they show him like, appreciating Sitara, and then he's like, like she's gonna leave him, or, not trusting her, not trusting him, and just like so odd.
very odd. And then who stands in front of or next to the door of a married couple and eavesdrop on their conversation?
Well,
Like, which one?
okay, and then the oddest part was like, how Sitara, Bichari Sitara, like she walks into her mother-in-law's room and she sits on the bed, right? Which is an okay thing to do. I've done it too, right?
Uh-huh.
And then she's like, बिस्तर पे नहीं बैठो, like classy लोग नहीं बैठते बिस्तर पे, बैठते couch पे बैठते हैं. Okay.
Okay.
She's on the couch. And then you see like apparently this classy woman, Sahiba, walks into the bedroom without even knocking.
Right, right. And apparently this guy was alone in his room at that time, sleeping.
I mean, like they could have been intimate. He could have been changing his clothes. Like anything could have been happening. She just walks in, like barges in.
Yeah. I remember that scene where Ali or Salar kind of like listens to the entire conversation that whatever she has to say, and then says, okay, now get out. You should have been like shooing her off for the very first minute and constantly said, like, we'll talk, but we'll talk outside this room, right? So he doesn't do that.
For me, it was like it was that he was wearing like this hoodie and like to sleep and this box out.
Yeah.
He gets
And he's
up and
apparently
has his hoodie on.
yes, this is hoodie on, exactly. And then like yesterday's last episode where the Nani is now sick and hospitalized. And now Salar is absolutely quiet. He barely has
Well,
any
I think
dialogue.
that is his character development, right? I mean, I think Salar's character has an arc. Like
Okay.
he wasn't very like he was a good person, but he was irresponsible, careless, privileged.
Okay.
He didn't really care much about things.
Okay.
I think, and then they're showing him going through all these phases where like now like he will understand like what privilege is, what does it mean. He's working as a photographer now. Before that, like he never had to worry about money. Even when he was jobless or whatever, like just hanging out, moping out around, whatever. Like he always had money. So I think that's where like coming of age story kind of thing for him. Sitara too. I think with her, it's like she does not trust people. She's an orphan. She's been through a lot with her toxic relatives,
Uh-huh.
and I think she will learn to like to trust people, especially Salah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then also she has guards. Like she was chirpy and everything, but she had guards on. So I think she has to let those guards down.
Okay, makes sense. Maybe that's why she was not disclosing like the proof that she has against Sahiba. Like she got the proof from the
Mhm.
guy,
Mhm.
and then Salar asked her a few times, like, "How come? What
What do you
would you
know?
know that I don't?" And she doesn't say. And then the dad also asked her, like, I was right there, and I don't have any proof. How come you have a proof? She's like, you
I was
too.
like, what if like, what if Salar like sees her like with Zayan?
Yeah.
That was my other thing. Like, is it gonna be another like misunderstanding? Right.
So,
What do you
um,
think of the speech by Sitara yesterday? The whole
it was
the whole Me Too movement.
me too. Yeah. I guess she wanted to make sure that everybody understands that she's not a submissive kind of a girl. That if her husband is at wrong, she will defend him.
Mhm.
But that's why whatever proof she's bringing, they should trust her. That
Mhm.
she has the right proof. And from a message point of view, that was the right thing to say,
Mhm.
like, right, to the women out there, that you don't have to defend if your husband is
Right.
wrong.
Yeah. And also, I think one interesting point that she made was that yeah, if the girl's a victim, the one who's been like I guess like the wife is also the victim.
Right, exactly. That is a
So
very good point.
the wife of the culprit, because obviously like I mean she has to like choose, right?
Right,
So between staying with him, supporting him, leaving him, I mean there's all sorts of things.
right. And she was the one getting betrayed as well, right? So,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
um,
So
yeah, that was
she's
a.
the victim too. So yeah, so the Nani's dies.
Oh,
Um,
Rani dies.
I mean, yeah, that's what they showed in the promo yesterday. I haven't watched today's, but yeah, she died.
Okay.
So
Oh
I think
no.
I think now it's gonna be just him and her.
Oh boy.
Like
And there's
before, it was at
15
least
other
Nani's there.
people.
At least Nani's there, but then they have Nani's house.
Okay. But
Nani
I
gifted
mean,
them their house.
are you interested in Nimi and Kasim?
Mimi and no, no, not at all.
Right. Right. I don't know why are they showing us that track intermittently? I'm not interested. I'm not interested in how Kasim takes revenge on Nimi, or Nimi takes revenge on Kasim.
I mean, and then in so on the cover poster they show Nimi as if like she's the main character. Like
Exactly.
I mean like but then like isn't Sahiba the one should be there? Like
Uh, Good point.
and I really feel bad for Nimi at this point. Nobody deserves to go through this, to get
True.
married without your consent. Like no matter how bad you are, you can be the worst person in the world. Like,
I
what do you think?
completely.
I mean, are you just because I see comments like "अच्छा हुआ सितारा के साथ." I mean, like,
I like
okay,
Nimi. Yeah.
what kind of people are you?
No, that is not acceptable. I mean, the moment a girl is not giving her consent to a proposal, that should be a no, right? And
Right.
I agree that she's a difficult person.
She,
Nobody
she,
wants her
she could be the
around.
most evil person in the world, you know?
Yeah,
But then that does not mean that you oppress her.
that is true.
Like you become the oppressor, right? That
That is true.
like, but you know what? Like their scene, Sitara and Salar's beach scene was so cute.
Beach one. Yeah,
Yeah, the beach
yeah,
one was really cute.
true. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, when she says like, "Oh, I didn't know you're a wildlife photographer at that
wildlife photographer.
point." That was funny.
जानवरों का photographer.
That was funny.
Yeah, those yeah, like say like these dialogues are really good in this drama. I'm telling you, this could have been really good drama. Like,
I agree. I mean, now they have to focus on how these two build their relationship.
they just okay, they need to like wrap things up.
Oh yeah, that,
Like and I think they need to wrap up all the side characters, side tracks, and then wrap up sort of bring this, show to an end.
yeah.
No, I
Okay,
know,
so
but
that's Kaffara for me in nutshell. I think for me it's a roastable show. I just binge
I mean,
watch
I
whenever I
actually enjoy
see.
it. Like, I mean, I don't like the other parts. I like the Salar and Sitara scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't like a preachy sitara either. I want a sitara to also make mistakes and then
Yes, and
um,
like I mean, yeah.
yeah. I've seen enough
So,
of
and then
preachy,
I have to say, like Ali Ansari really, like he's
of
really carrying the whole show on his shoulders.
undoubtedly. Like even when in the scene where he's being accused in front of everyone and Sitara shows up, he goes like, "Hey, I didn't do a thing, Sitara, trust me." That was so natural of his to say
Yes,
without
yeah,
any strange histrionics or anything. So
right,
I really liked it.
yeah.
He is definitely ruling it, but I wish the directors don't dilute him too much because
Mm-hmm.
the Salar we all liked was the sassy guy with like really good dialogues. Now it's all gone. The
Yeah.
last few episodes, it's all gone. And Sitara is this preachy wife who's apparently doing everything right. No.
Let's see like how things fold or unfold.
Unfold, yeah. All
All
right. So
right.
we will continue to watch Kaffara and Duniyapur.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Kaffara. only for Salar and only for Ali Ansari.
All right.
That's it. All right.
Right.
And so okay, so all right, so we'll continue with our next episode, inshallah, soon. And we'll get back with our. All right, guys, we'll get back with another two reviews soon. And do you have any closing words, Sunny?
No, we really enjoyed the discussion and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Looking forward to your feedback. Do let us know how you like our review and what else you want to see or want us to talk about. So yeah,
All right.
till next time.
Until next time. All right. See you guys later. I
See
love
ya.